Hello, my name is Andy, and I am the Village Idiot, a man with a car and a GoPro, and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. Oh, sun's in my eyes. Okay, welcome back to Newark and Sherwood, and today we're in a very small village, but it's a village that has a connection with one we've done before. That would be Edenthorpe in Doncaster, and the connection is quite a good one. In Edenthorpe, that is classed as a blessed village or a thankful village, meaning it didn't have any casualties in at least one of the world wars. Here in Newark and Sherwood, in this place, this is another thankful village. Let's go and learn a little bit more about Wigsley. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Wigsley is a village and civil parish in Newark and Sherwood, Nottinghamshire, the population of which, taken at the 2011 census, was 178. Here we are located 10 miles west of Lincoln. Wigsley is the smallest of a trio of settlements along with Thorney and Harby, which together form a small Nottinghamshire enclave jutting out into the neighbouring county of Lincolnshire. Wigsley was formerly a township within the parish of Thorney, which lies to the north. Historically, the village was known as Wigsley, which over time has contracted to form the current name and spelling. It doesn't have a lot, that's fair to say. The presence of Mill Lane, though, might imply at one time it had a mill, if nothing else. The meaning behind the place name Wigsley suggests that the village's roots go back to the Anglo-Saxons. Wigsley means the woodland clearing of a man called Wick. Here on the main road through the village on the one and only bend is the parish notice board, and you might notice a thing or two about this one, both under it and next to it. As we saw in Spalford last week, to the southwest of the village are the remains of RAF Wigsley Airfield. Wigsley is one of the thankful villages, those rare places that were spared fatalities in the Great War of 1914 to 1918, which links it to Edenthorpe in Doncaster, as that was also one of the thankful villages. I left a card on the notice board as normal, and Wigsley is now off that Newark and Sherwood list, guys. By the way, the term thankful village was first popularised by the writer Arthur Mee in his 1936 guide to England, Enchanted Land. It should be noted that the former airfield wasn't built until World War II. The construction of the aerodrome included a 3-storey control tower, a building which just about survives to this day. As promised in the Spalford episode, here is a picture of that building. The unusual building is believed to be the only 3-storey control tower within the RAF, according to Nottinghamshire Live. Now, I would have stopped and actually filmed this on my way from Spalford, but it appeared the building at present is undergoing what I thought was some kind of restoration or maintenance work, so I opted not to get in the way. I've since learned it was being renovated. It's going to be turned into a residential property, termed an upside-down house. Speaking of buildings, here's another notable one. This is the former Wesleyan chapel. The stone in the gable carries the date 1886, and the chapel is now in use as a private dwelling. The porch is a recent addition. Bus-wise, you can catch one out here. It's served by the same demand-responsive 367 bus that we've come across before in nearby places. Wigsley is a place of relative peace and quiet. The village does not have its own church, pub, shop or playing field, and with its somewhat linear development, it lacks a natural place where residents can gather easily. Even so, there has been a recent emergence of a community-led plan project which has seen the coming together of many residents keen to cooperate on the shared endeavour of making where they live a better place. As a result, a renewed sense of community and connection with others does now seem to be growing within the village. Nearby Harby helps with that. Harby is a vibrant community with just over 300 residents and has many amenities which Wigsley's residents often share, like a village hall, playing fields with a pavilion, a primary school, a church, a pub and an outreach post office. Wigsley has its own Facebook page and a newsletter called the Wigsley Word. In one of the most recent issues, it reported that in July of 2019, an application was made to install a fish farm close to the old airfield next to the village's boundary on North Scar Road. Let's talk a bit about Wigsley's people now. After all, it's they that make the place. Let's start with the population density. Wigsley covers an area amounting to 9.2 square kilometres. That gives it a population density of 22.49. All of its residents are white British, which is a rare thing generally speaking in the UK. 30.4% of all the people who live here are aged over 65, so it's fair to say this is somewhat of an ageing community. That said, it does still have people of all ages. So if you continue down North Scar Road, you'll eventually come to a crossroads, and if you turn to the right at those crossroads, that will take you to Spalford. Don't forget that the parish boundary cuts right across the former RAF Wigsley. Half of it is in Spalford, the other half is here in Wigsley. And for that reason, we've already spoke about it in the Spalford episode, so I'm not going to touch on it again here. I'm not about to go back out to the airfield and film some more shots for it. But what I will do now is turn around and walk back the other way through Wigsley and just see if there's anything else I can really catch. But to be honest with you, in a place this small, the likelihood is I've probably caught it all. Wigsley's average house price is not readily available online. The only sale within the last 12 months was for £425,000. Generally speaking, the most recent valuations are much less than that. They come in at anything between £257,000 and £459,000. Alright, I'm back where I began at the car. Simple linear village, Wigsley. Not really much to it at all, and as such there isn't a picture bit today because it's so small it doesn't really warrant one. So it's time for me to move on to my next one, and all I have to do to get to my next one, if I turn the camera around, is just drive up this road until I reach it. There's a clue for you if you're local as to which one is coming next. But for now, this has been the parish of Wigsley, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.